Hello, Invictus people. So apparently I need a better video, but low budget, so this is the way that it is. So Will and I are headed to Colorado. Say hi, Will.
Hi.
He said hi. Okay, so common theme across multiple athletes, and I didn't want to text, so I figure I can at least talk and drive. Heat and interval training. So it's an extremely tough time of year to be doing high intensity intervals in South Texas. So what happens? What do you do? What's the right way to handle it? Oh my God, I can't hit my power that I'm used to. All of that, and do all that without dying. So we're very used to understanding that you have power limitations on the bike. So if you guys are on a power meter, which most of you are, you understand your zone 4 or your zone 5 power is some number. And that's a limit. You also, if you're watching your heart rate when you train, which you should, you also understand that you have a heart rate limit. Now, typically, your power zones and your heart rate zones are the same. They don't really change unless you get fitter. So for the same heart rate, as you get stronger, you'll be able to put out more power. But there's another limiter. There's lots of limiters in exercise physiology. But right now, your limit is heat. And so as you get outside of a normal body temperature, your power will decrease. Basic biochemistry means that the human body has to have a pH between 7.35 and 7.45, and your body temperature should be 98.6. When you exercise, your body temp goes up to 100, 101, which is normal. That causes your hemoglobin to change the way they load and unload oxygen. But if your body temp goes up above that, then those hemoglobin will never unload oxygen. Like, they'll never pick up the oxygen from the environment. That's a whole nother discussion. You should come to, a flight paramedic review or something. But you can't load, so you're then limited, which is a great safety mechanism because it keeps you from getting too hot. So how does that then affect your training? A couple of things. It's actually really interesting. Training in the heat, you'll be limited by the heat. Your power won't be as high, so you'll have a decrease. And everybody is different, and it depends on how hot it is, of course. So let's say my zone 5 power is 350 watts, but I can't hit 350 because I am too hot. Then the way I'll know is I'll look at my heart rate. So look at your heart rate zones instead of your power zones. So you'll get to your zone 5 heart rate extremely quickly, and you'll notice that your power is not what you would typically consider to be your zone 5 power. But stay there. Don't go over that zone 5 heart rate. Use that heart rate. And so you may be thinking, well, but then am I still growing? Well, actually, there's some really good studies on this. Training in the heat with a lower power, but maintaining your zone 5 power zone or your zone 4 or whatever interval you're doing, when you run off to a race in a cold environment, you'll immediately have that power back and some. You will grow from training in the heat. A lot of studies, show a good 7% improvement, even though your power numbers never really changed. So, coming from a guy that lives in South Texas and trains in South Texas a lot, I've been through this cycle a number of times. Having races in October, which my next race is the beginning of October, means that I've got to do my build phase through August, through September, which is triple digit heat. So that applies if you're training outside. Your other alternative, which is a very good one, is inside on the trainer. Now, I've got a couple of you guys that I know are inside on the trainer, but you got to get fans, big fans. The fans are the key. A lot of airflow is more important than a good air conditioner. Both is totally ideal. Other ideas, obviously, if you're training outside, get a backpack instead of your water bottles. Fill your backpack full of ice, like a Camelback, not like a school backpack. Anyway, fill it full of ice. When I do my Zone 3 training, I do an hour and a half out to a little town called Beat Ice. They have an ice machine and a Bluebell ice cream cooler, which is the best gas station in the whole world. It's not keto, I get it. But I'm in ketosis by the time I get back, even though I ate the Bluebell. But anyway, that kind of stuff keeps you cool, and you have to do that. Don't go out there and die of heat stroke. Other thing that comes up when we talk about working out in the heat is you have to supplement with sodium, not potassium. Leave the coconut water at home, the bananas, all that stuff. Don't do that. That stuff's loaded with potassium. Potassium is the opposite of what you need. When you're sweating, you're losing sodium and magnesium and zinc, and you need to supplement with sodium while you're on the ride. How much? You've got to play with this. Most people, 400 milligrams an hour, maybe more if it's super hot. Look at your jersey. But you're going to have to supplement. Everybody's a little different. You're going to have to work that out. Magnesium at night before you go to bed help you sleep as well, so that's great. Zinc, eat your dark green vegetables, that kind of thing. Spirulina is great, loaded, and those things will all help you kind of get through the heat. So, but the point of the whole thing, don't worry about your power when it's 100 degrees outside. The numbers are going to be low, but you will still grow. I didn't even plan that. Okay, later, and I promise to get a better video.